The Beyblade X video game has been revealed. We also got a good look at the upcoming June Tiger Bay, and also a really nice recolor that nobody expected. There is a ton of Beyblade news to go over, and the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be Weiss Tiger. And before I get any YouTube comments, it is Weiss, not Weiss. It's German, it's just how it's pronounced.
Weiss.
Weiss Tiger is the upcoming BX33 release, which is going to be coming out in the middle of June. And as you can see, the design of this bay is wild. A lot of crazy edges and sharp points. And we also see the return of a tiger motif right in the middle, very similar to Drigger. The color scheme for this bay is pretty interesting as well, being a white and orange, which I don't think we've gotten something like that in a while. Maybe white and gold or white and blue, but white and orange is a little bit more unique. I will say, whenever we first got pictures of Weiss Tiger, I was a little bit on the fence about it, okay? The design is crazy, and credit to whoever sketched this Beyblade blade shape. But, I mean, when you look at that center tiger motif, there's something about it that just seems very high school sports logo. I know that's going to be a pretty unpopular opinion, and it's probably going to be a hot take, but I mean, just Google Big Cat sports logo, and you're going to get some images that look kind of similar. Obviously, I think Weiss Tiger is way sharper and cooler than most of those Google image results, but that was just kind of my first take on it. And I will say, it's also kind of similar to the Mr. Beast logo. I mean, if you just take the picture and then shift the colors around a little bit, it's pretty similar. While there is so much Beyblade news to cover, remember, Shinobi Shadow is going to be dropping in just a few days. And if you have not pre-ordered that, go and check out Mall of Toys. They have individual random boosters as well as the full set up for pre-order right now. And if you don't want Shinobi, they have a bunch of other Beyblade X releases like Dran Buster, Hell's Hammer, Phoenix Wing, pretty much anything you'd need to complete your Beyblade X collection. So go and check them out, link in the description down below, and make sure you use code ilinnuc to get 5% off of your first purchase. Something that is really awesome about this motif design though, is there's actually a bit of a reference to the Bakuten Shoot logo, which was the logo for the very first generation of Beyblade. If you look towards the corner of the design, kind of behind the ear of the tiger, you can see the little triangle shapes, which is really nice. Cobalt Drake also had a reference to the Bakuten Shoot logo, so that was kind of a callback to Dragoon, and this is a callback to Drigger, and that's just nice to see. But this blade is wild with its metal and plastic mixture. It does look really nice. I am a little worried about breakages potentially. Breaking the blade of your Beyblade X Bay isn't super common, but it does happen. And we do see some gaps in the design here, which I'm a little bit worried about, but it's probably not going to be a big deal. But whenever you move on to the rest of the parts, we have some pretty interesting things. And the ratchet is not one of them, okay? We have 360, and I will say 360 is a really solid performer. It's really well used. Well used, what? It is a highly used ratchet in the meta, but it's also the very first ratchet that ever released, okay? So I have a ton of copies of 360, and getting another one in a white color scheme, I'm not against it, but I don't really care. And then we have the bits, which is U or Unite. And before you get excited, it's not going to be very similar to Unite from Beyblade Burst that came on Spriggan. It's definitely kind of its own thing. So Unite is basically the taper bit, but with a point in the middle, which is going to be very similar to the point bit, which was flat, but had a point in the middle. The reason why I'm comparing point and Unite is because point is one of the most heavily used bits in the entire Beyblade X metagame. Every single deck is going to be using that bit, so having a piece that is pretty similar, just with a different shape, is pretty interesting. And I'm looking forward to some tournament videos and testing videos to see if this could be an S tier part, or if it's going to be really bad, like Rhino Horn or Leon Claw. Nobody uses those, okay? Nobody. But that is Weiss Tiger, and just as a reminder, it is a booster release that is going to be coming out in the middle of June. And for my last wrap-up takes on how it might be competitively, I really have no idea, okay? It does have a bit of a Dran dagger shape, and I will say there is a lot of exposed plastic, so I kind of doubt it'll be on the heavier side of Beyblade X releases, but it's still pretty interesting. But now let's shift gears over to the recolor that nobody expected. In the next issue of CoroCoro, which is the July issue, that magazine is going to come with a CoroCoro exclusive Blade recolor, and that is going to be a Cobalt Drake colored Dran sword. That is super cool. It's super nice. I still have my Cobalt Drake in perfect condition, and I love the metal coat on that. It's just such a nice looking bay to have on display, and I'm gonna buy like 3 or 4 of these, okay? I don't know why. I don't know why I need more than one, but I want them. And now we can move on to the most exciting bit of news, and also the bit of news we know least about, and that is that a Beyblade X video game has been confirmed. We saw a little bit of a teaser in this most recent issue of CoroCoro. It didn't really show off that much, just a couple of screenshots that everybody is going to spend too much time analyzing, including me. We got some flavor text just trying to hype people up, and we also got the release window, which is winter of this year, 2024. Definitely kind of surprising. I thought we wouldn't get anything until maybe next year, after it had been out in the US for a little bit maybe, but we're getting a game this year. And we also got a look at the special bay that's going to be included with the game, and it's, okay. I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit disappointed with this package game here. It is basically a blue recolor of Knife Shinobi, which is a Hasbro bay, or at least we thought that was a Hasbro exclusive, but it's not. We have Knife Shinobi, but in a blue and red color scheme. Now, I doubt that the motif will be the same. I'm sure it won't be that kind of ugly ninja that we're going to be getting on the Hasbro one. Actually, there's a little bit of an update. While I was editing this video, they actually published the official website for the Beyblade X1 game, and on this website we can see more about the game. There's even pre-orders up for Amazon Japan already, but we also see a lot more about Shinobi Knife, and it just is the Hasbro bay, but just in a nicer color scheme. They even give us an entire parts breakdown for the Beyblade. For the blade, we have Shinobi Knife, and it's just, you know, rhino horn, basically. They do say the metal has been painted to improve performance, but I don't really think that does anything. For the ratchet, we have 460, and while that's not really a great ratchet, it is in a really nice kind of smoky gray, black, and pink color, which I do really like. And for the bits, we have low flat in a piano black and jewel blue color. It does look really good, and the entire color scheme does look very similar to Cobalt Drake. So I wish the bay was better, but the color scheme for it does look really good. Well, let's go back in time, okay, and look through Beyblade game history. Okay, the last game that we got released was Battle Zero on the Switch, and that came with a cool crystal version of Amaterios. Before that, we had the 3DS games that had like Balder and another version of Amaterios, and those were bays that already got released, except those were different recolors of the rare bay Get Battle stuff, okay? And those were really hard to come by. So I was kind of hoping that in this game, we would get a recolor to Cobalt Drake, because that would make sense, okay? That would follow the pattern that they've set for the last 10 plus years, but we're getting Knife Shinobi, basically, okay? Why? Cobalt Drake fans are in shambles right now, okay? I'm in shambles. I'm a little disappointed. But at the end of the day, it's the game that matters more than the bay that's included. And I wish I could talk more about the game, but the only thing we know are just the screenshots and that it's coming out on the Switch. Okay, I'm sorry, I've got to interrupt this program again, but in that website I mentioned earlier, we do see the Steam logo. So the game is going to be coming to the Switch and to PC. So PC players, unite. Although I will say in the CoroCoro and on the website, it does make it seem like it's going to come out on the Switch first, so maybe the Steam version will come out later, but at least it's going to be on PC. But that is going to wrap up the news. Let me know what you guys think of the Weiss Tiger and Dran Sword Cobalt Drake recolor. And also, let me know what you think of the Beyblade X1 game and what are some things that you hope to see. But thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have fun and bay away.